Easter's almost here, and when surveyed, we found that almost half of us increase our food spend by up to 25%. But with British food prices rising for the first time in 2 years, it's never been a more important time to save money and make your food go further.
Boom!
So I'm going to find out if it's possible to make great-tasting feasts that won't break the bank. Plus, I'll be putting the ultimate Easter staple to the super cheap taste test.
These are the 3 cheapest hot cross buns at our supermarkets.
And revealing some of the hot buys that should be in your Easter basket.
We'll be gate-crashing another family's kitchen with some money-saving recipes and tricks.
But he looks better with a bigger knife.
But size isn't everything.
Oh, I don't know.
And that's not all. My challenge for you this week, Matt, is to treat us to 4 blowout bank holiday meals that'll keep everyone deliciously fed this Easter without blowing the budget.
Easy peasy.
This is Save Money, Good Food. Meet the Sayers family from Cheshire. Social worker Richard, PA Joanne, and their children Dylan and Molly.
Smelling nice, Mel.
They spend a huge £205 a week on their food shop. That's 2.5 times the national average, and it increases to more than £250 over Easter.
Holiday times, Christmas and Easter, we do spend more money.
When it comes to entertaining, they can't help themselves, and Richard always seeks out deals in the supermarket.
I see things on offer and I think, ooh, that's a good buy, and I struggle to resist it a bit. You know, I'll buy things in bulk because I think it's cheaper to do that, but we end up with a lot of stuff.
And he's not alone. 41% of us Brits are drawn to offers, and almost half of us leave the supermarket having spent more than we intended.
We've got much fridge stuff.
Fridge. Loads of fridge stuff.
People say that. Your house is always busy, there's always people in your house. And I like it like that.
It's the Sayers Hotel.
Yeah.
Definitely the Sayers Hotel.
With an open house policy and impromptu entertaining, their spending is spiralling out of control.
We don't have a budget when we're entertaining.
We do buy a lot of food because we're always kind of expecting people, even if it's not planned. Come on, girls.
And their hospitality knows no bounds. Even their 6 chickens, 2 dogs, 2 guinea pigs and a cockerel are well fed. To work out how their food can go further, we've been monitoring their shopping receipts for 2 weeks. But we're about to take the investigation to the next stage. Whilst the family are out, we've borrowed their house keys from Gran and invited ourselves in for a snoop around. We've got 2 hours to raid their fridge, freezer and cupboards for Matt to cook them up a surprise feast with some of what we find. Ready, Matt?
Let's go.
Get in that bin.
So let's have a quick look.
Oh, OK. Didn't expect that.
It's pretty empty. So it's either bin day or they're using...
Or they're eating everything.
Yeah, they're using everything up. Before they'd gone in the bin, these look like perfectly usable half lemons.
Bit squeezed.
Bit squeezed, yeah.
OK.
I don't know, I would have expected you to be able to say you could get a whole meal out
Oh,
of that.
do you know what? Things I could do with that. They got some chickens out the back there. Maybe they're feeding everything to chickens.
Oh, yeah. And there's the chickens.
Right.
It's looking a bit muddy. There's just one pair of wellies, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately. Look at that boy, he's massive. That'd make a really good coq au vin.
They're obviously very well-fed animals, and that's just the chickens.
Their 11 pets eat more than 30% of the Sayers' weekly food shop, on top of their pet food. The animals may be eating the waste, but where are they hiding the rest of the food?
Right, what do we got? Half a bottle of Carver.
Ah, they're a family who like to entertain, so a little bit of sparkles on the side.
The salmon defrosting.
So that's the fridge taken care of.
Right, where next?
There's one place left to go.
Oh, what's your head? Up you.
Bingo!
This lot look like expecting a war, don't they?
They certainly seem to be preparing for Armageddon. There is so much food in these freezers. I'm not even sure that they know what they've got.
Some more salmon, though.
It's so deep down here, and still I haven't got to the bottom. I just don't have long enough arms.
Oh, yeah, OK. You're right.
See you, Matt. I expect that when they go to the supermarket, they forget what they've got in here. A fantastic way of remembering what you've got in your freezer or your fridge. Take a selfie.
What were you in it?
OK, Matt, now we've unearthed the food hoarding. Once you've finished your mouthful, it's time for you to whip something up with it.
Bring it on.
With the Sayers expecting lots of guests for Easter, my challenge for Matt is to create 4 feasts for the ultimate bank holiday blowout, whilst keeping down the cost per person.
No pressure then.
Now, I know they like salmon. They've got loads of it in their fridge. They've got more in their freezer.
First up, for Good Friday, I've asked Matt to cook an entire meal from what we found in their cupboards, fridge and freezer.
OK, they love bulk-bought salmon, so I'm putting together a delicious dish, salmon piperade, a traditional tangy stew from the Basque region in France. It's made with onions, peppers and tomato and served with couscous.
OK, I'm going to start by slicing up these onions and getting those in the pan.
For the piperade, fry a red onion on a high heat and sweat a couple of peppers.
What are you adding to the stew then?
Just tomato puree. It's a really good standby to have because if you haven't got tomatoes in your fridge, you could use a tube of this and it's a really cheap alternative.
It's just 4 pence for 20 grams, or you need to use 4 large fresh tomatoes and spend around 10 times more to get the same flavour. Add the tomato puree, bay and fresh thyme and cook for 1 minute. And then pour in some water and the balsamic and leave to stew for 20 minutes. Meanwhile, it's time to get the couscous on the go.
I use couscous a lot at home because it's so quick, but frankly, my couscous is incredibly bland.
Don't be tempted to buy pre-made flavoured couscous. Our homemade version will be less than half the price, simple to make and more delicious.
Yeah, you need this knife.
No, this knife's good enough.
Well, you can
I don't need your big show-off knife.
But he looks better with a bigger knife.
But size isn't everything.
Oh, I don't know.
Next, pour hot stock over the couscous. Add olive oil, cover and leave to swell for 10 minutes.
Leave that alone.
To add extra flavour, stir through some fresh parsley, the chopped celery and lemon juice. And with the couscous ready, it's time for the next step.
Now look, I've cut these up into less than portion-sized pieces, all right? So 2 of those will feed 1 person quite happily. However, if the doorbell goes, more people come in, you can then divide it up and this stew will go a long way. You can see that will go further than 4 people.
Salmon is a celebratory favourite, with sales traditionally increasing over the Easter period. If you buy it frozen, it's almost a third cheaper, but switching to another fish like frozen cod would save you another 20%.
Add the salmon to the stew and simmer for about 10 minutes until the fish is cooked through.
This tasty salmon piperade, made entirely with what we found, can offer a bit of luxury on a shoestring at only £2.14 a head.
Boom!
And just in time.
Because the family are on their way back and they'll be in for a big surprise to see that Susanna and I have been rifling through their kitchen and freezers.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, it's so nice to see you. I'm sorry
Matt.
you've taken over your kitchen.
So help yourself. So we've got some couscous there, and here we've got the salmon that you seem to like very much.
Nice.
With piperade, which is a pepper stew.
So it's very tasty, it's nice.
Good.
It's like one of the nicest things I've ever tasted.
Polish your halo.
It's nice, I like that. It's all right.
It is lovely.
Yeah, Dylan, what do you think?
Oh, I like it. I think that you don't need any more compliments. Yeah.
Dylan!
Well, that's told you, Matt.
Moving on.
Now to tell them what we uncovered earlier.
We had a little peek in your fridge and we found quite a lot of salmon, and we found some in the freezer too. There's a lot going on down the bottom of there.
There is.
It is like Narnia.
I've got this thing about making sure I've got enough food to feed people. I would hate for people to come and I've got nothing in. I'd find that terrible.
How much do you think you spend on your weekly shop?
On average, probably between £190 and £200 once we've done the top-up shops.
But why are they spending so much?
So you're a sucker for an offer?
I am a little, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Bog-offs especially. Yeah, I think they're brilliant.
So buy one, get one free, but you're also a fan of buy 3 for a certain amount of money.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of buying bulk as well because I think it saves money.
But you're ending up as a family with lots of ingredients that are great deals, but you're not necessarily using them.
That's true.
And that's going to be costing you money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to, clear out your freezers. We're not going to stop you buying certain things. But what Matt can help you with is just coming up with a whole load of recipes that just cost you less.
Good.
So how much do you think this meal costs then for the 4 of you?
Maybe £8 altogether.
OK, £8 altogether. What do you think, Mum?
I would say £12, maybe.
I'd
Not-
take
is
your
it-
daughter shopping if I were you. She was pretty much bang on.
That's it.
So this meal cost £8.56 to make for all of you, which is £2.14 a head. We've calculated that you usually spend around £3.67 a head.
Save yourselves around £1.50 a head.
Yeah.
The number of people you're looking after, cooking for, that's going to save you a significant amount of money.
With up to 20 people coming for Easter weekend, cooking this luxury dish could save them an extra £30.
Sounds like a good start to me.
I think that's fantastic. And the money that we save, obviously, will be spent wisely on other things.
1 meal down, 3 to go. For the next feast, I'm going to ramp up the pressure a bit. More mouths to feed, still low cost, and a bit more luxury, please, Mr. Tebbutt.
Your wish, Susanna, my command.
But now, it's time to put super cheap food to the test with the great British public. Like the Sayers, lots of us like to have plenty of tasty treats to entertain friends and family. And with Good Friday just days away, what better Easter staple to test than the hot cross bun? I've come to foodie heaven, Greenwich Market, to see if I can persuade these discerning food connoisseurs that super cheap can still mean super tasty. In the UK, we spend more than £30 million a year on hot cross buns. Prices can be up to £1 a piece, but we're tasting the 3 cheapest on the market to find out which gives us the biggest taste bang for our buck. Welcome to my Battle of the Bargain Brands hot cross bun stall. First up, Lidl at 14p per bun.
Lovely. I like the shiny on them, and they've got a lovely smell.
Is it yummy in your tummy?
It's quite currenty, fruity.
It's all right. It's probably maybe a bit too moist, actually.
Next up is Sainsbury's, also at 14p.
It's heavier, this one.
It has like more fruit, it seems like. It has like a nicer taste.
That's dry. I wouldn't buy those again.
And the cheapest offering is Aldi at 8p a bun.
Not really like a hot cross bun. I don't taste any cinnamon.
Like it in flavour, it's like a roll.
It still tastes nice.
I prefer glazed.
Me too.
Having sampled all 3, we asked our testers which they preferred.
I think A was mine.
Hot cross bun A is from Lidl, and it's 14p per bun.
Very good.
I preferred B because the actual dough in itself was softer.
B is from Sainsbury's, and it's 14p per bun.
I thought it was more than that. My missus has been lying to me.
I'd buy A.
A is from Lidl,
That's what I had at the weekend. They're really good.
and it's 14p per bun. C is from Aldi, and it's 8p per bun.
I think for 8p a bun, that is still a good bun. I would buy that as a, if I wanted something really cheap, I'd buy and toast that.
Overall, 50% of our testers thought that Lidl's hot cross buns tasted the best. At only 14p a bun, it's the same cost as Sainsbury's, but 20% larger. Our test has shown that buying super cheap can still be super tasty. Tonight, Matt and I are in Cheshire, showing the self-confessed bulk-buying Sayers how they can save money and how their food can go further in time for their Easter weekend of entertaining.
I've accepted the challenge of showing them 4 luxury dishes for the ultimate bank holiday blowout.
But remember, for rock-bottom prices per head. And this is a family who love to entertain and often have leftovers. So I challenge you to make 2 luxurious meals out of 1 main ingredient.
OK, so the classic roast is an Easter favourite, so I recommend cooking a juicy gammon this weekend. To cook your gammon from scratch, boil for 90 minutes and then score the fat and stud with cloves. Smear with a mixture of maple syrup, Dijon mustard and caster sugar and cook at 190 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes until well glazed.
And it comes in at just £1.89 a person. But you're not stopping there, are you, Matt?
No, I'm not finished yet. This second meal will make use of the leftover gammon and see them through the following week.
You don't just want to have ham sandwiches.
No, put it in a pie. Dylan, good with a knife?
Yeah, let's go.
Fry onions, followed by mushrooms, add flour and gradually pour in stock to make a sauce.
It smells lovely.
Next, cut the ham into cubes and add to the pan. If you haven't already got ham in your fridge, you could use chicken instead. For the whole pie, it would cost around £1, so almost half the price. But to save more and make it go further, you could bulk it out by adding more veg. Finally, add fresh herbs and half-boiled eggs. Sauce cooked, pile into pots, and to save on time and hassle, top with shop-bought puff pastry and bake. And as it's Easter, it's 2 for 1 plus a dessert. We're rustling up a money-saving showstopper with just 3 simple ingredients, one of which the family have free and plenty of.
There's lots of chickens, so there's lots of eggs. The obvious one to me is meringue. So you need eggs and you need sugar. That's it, okay? And we noticed there was a lot of frozen fruit in your freezer, so we can use that to fill it.
Using frozen fruit is around 60% cheaper, while still holding the nutrients and flavour of fresh fruit.
To make a meringue, separate the egg whites from the yolks. And I've got a secret tip up my sleeve for the perfect fluffy meringue.
Tiny, tiny squeeze of lemon, okay? And that helps with the lift.
Now give your whites a whisk until they form soft peaks. Turn up the speed gradually and slowly add the sugar until your mixture is thick and glossy and can hold its own weight.
That was close.
All right, happy? Good.
Then spoon out into individual servings and it's ready to bake. Once baked, serve with a generous dollop of cream and top with mixed berries.
But surely this feast can't be less than they'd normally spend entertaining.
If you were to use your leftover gammon like this, you could have a 2-course feast of gammon and egg pie and berry meringues at just £2.30 a head. That's almost £1.40 less per person than what they'd usually spend. Boom!
Well done, Matt.
And just in time, because the Sayers have got some friends around. So let's see what everyone makes of it.
Tasty.
Very, very, very inexpensive and really, really, really nice.
On Save Money Good Food, we're here to help you get more for your money. So we've hunted out some of the best Easter deals on the high street this week. There's assorted British veg, all at 29p each, including 2.5 kilos of potatoes, a saving of 75%. If you want to splash out, there's some luxury dry champagne on offer, with 50% off. A great offer if you fancy pushing the boat out and celebrating in style. Next up, it's Easter favourite succulent leg of lamb, saving you almost 30%. These are just 3 offers we found, but remember, bargains come and go all the time, so see what's out there.
With lamb being a traditional choice of meat at Easter, it's in demand at this time of year. So it only makes sense for it to be the pièce de résistance in the final meal then.
Yep, and this time, Matt, I'm going to make the party even bigger. How much more luxurious can you go on a shoestring budget? It's time for the ultimate Easter Sunday feast.
Well, as lamb is banging season, I'm going to rustle up a spectacular slow roast shoulder of lamb with spring greens and boulangère potatoes, followed by an Easter egg tiffin.
Sounds delicious. Dad and Molly are in charge of the main.
Rub it all over in oil and then season it really nicely.
OK.
That's it.
Then put incisions in the meat and fill with garlic and rosemary.
And that's just going to push the flavour straight into that meat.
Fresh and seasonal lamb is an Easter classic. The shoulder is one of the cheapest cuts you can buy and, in my opinion, one of the best. It's almost 25% cheaper than a leg of lamb, and its rich, tight muscle means it's perfect for low, slow cooking. Put in the oven at full temperature for 10 to 15 minutes.
So while that's in the oven, we need to mix the wine and the tomatoes.
Oh, what a shame.
Dump those two together.
Combine with chicken stock, and once the lamb has browned, pour on top and put in the oven at 120 degrees. Roast slowly for 2 hours until it melts away from the bone.
Smells nice.
It smells great, doesn't it, Ronnie?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think your guests are going to be happy with that, Rich?
Well, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think they will.
This looks pretty impressive, doesn't it?
Our lamb is accompanied by boulangère potatoes, very thinly sliced potatoes baked with onion, thyme and chicken stock.
But before the Easter celebrations begin, we've got one more treat up our sleeves.
The national average is that we buy our children between 8 or 9 Easter eggs.
That's a lot.
Per child is a lot of chocolate, isn't it? Yeah. And so you might have quite a lot of Easter eggs left over in the cupboard.
Yep.
Matt, you've got a fantastic way of using up the Easter eggs that we're not actually going to eat.
If you don't have Easter eggs to use up, then it's best to use bars of chocolate, as gram for gram, Easter eggs can be 60% more expensive.
But without them, it wouldn't be Easter. Now for the tiffin.
Right, grab that bowl.
How long would it last?
Ages.
Does it?
Yeah.
You never stop eating.
It's part of my job. If you put the butter in there, Molly,
Yeah.
and the golden syrup.
Melt over heat and add raisins and crushed biscuits.
This is a good way of using up stale biscuits.
Yes.
I can see us doing that. We've quite often got biscuits in the bottom of the cupboard.
Finally, pour into a loaf tin, pat down, and then leave in the fridge to set overnight.
Oh, that's easy.
That's super easy.
And we're done. An entire Easter Sunday feast fit for kings.
And more than enough for 8 people. With friends and family gathered, let's get their verdict on taste and price.
Okay, right. That's what you want, just to be able to pull it apart like that.
Succulent, slow-cooked lamb shoulder with spring greens and boulangère potatoes, followed by delightful Easter egg tiffin.
It's really nice lamb.
I like the idea of being able to do it and walk away from it.
So this is like the best meal.
Excellent. OK, so how much would you think that whole thing cost?
I think the lamb's going to be quite expensive.
Comes in £3.35 a head.
Wow.
Matt's gone all out with this impressive feast.
Boom!
On a celebration, you say that you'd add an extra £50 to your weekly shopping bill. With our recipes over the holiday weekend, we estimate that we've saved you £65. There we go.
Fantastic.
Which, straight down the top, I like your style.
No, that's amazing.
Which is a contrast to your normal spend.
4 luxury meals for a bargain blowout bank holiday weekend.
For Good Friday, succulent salmon piperade.
2 for 1, maple-glazed gammon with sage roast veg.
And gammon, mushroom and egg pies with berry meringues.
And Easter Sunday, a feast of slow-cooked lamb shoulder, followed by Easter egg tiffin. With the family entertaining like this at least twice a month, following these recipes could save them more than £1,500 a year.
My motto will change.
Yeah.
It won't be you can never spend too much money when you're entertaining. It will now be let's cut back a little bit.
And don't feed the dog.
And empty your freezer out and let's choose what's in there.
Yeah, they're not snappy mottos, but...